Hello everybody and welcome to a very special year-end edition of GamerBox. This is the video where we're going to talk about our very favourite games from 2017. I'm at AJ Nation 71 and I'm joined by the whole crew today, starting with...
Toxic Smokey.
And...
I'm RTDH.
And finally...
King of 1988.
He's back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to probably be our favourite show of the year because this is the show where we get to argue... And we love arguing. We are all going to start... well, it depends which way. Like, you say tomato, I say tomato. So what we're going to do is start off by discussing our individual top 5 lists. So potentially we could have a list at the end of that of 20 games because there's 4 of us. And then what we're going to do is try and whittle that down to 5 games, and those 5 games are going to be our top 5 games for 2017. So without further ado, I best go first, just because I have to, and I will give you my top 5 games. So my list is very much dominated by Nintendo's efforts this year because they've had a really good year with the Switch.
And you're a fanboy.
No, not just a fanboy. I've got other games in there, but I mean, on my list, I've got. So I'll start off with a non-Nintendo game. I've got Evil Within 2. So Bethesda's survival horror offering from the director of the original Resident Evil. I've also got Resident Evil 7, which I thought was phenomenal, and we did some really good videos with Resident Evil 7. I've got... They're worth going back to, definitely. Yeah. I've got Metroid Samus Returns on the 3DS, which I thought it was nice to go back to play that. I met a decent Metroid game. I've got Super Mario Odyssey, which was an absolutely phenomenal Mario game, and it felt like Mario 64 2. And I've also gone for Assassin's Creed Origins, which for me was a big return to form, like Phil says, for Assassin's Creed. Ubisoft, it was nice for it to have a year. That extra year in the oven made such a difference for that game. The battle system is more sophisticated. The world is more beautiful. I mean, Assassin's Creed games have always been beautiful. And it felt a hell of a lot more solid. It wasn't as flimsy. You didn't have people's like heads and their innards coming out because of all the glitches that you have with Unity. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, 2017 has been a phenomenal year for games, and my list, I think, represents that just as well as any of these guys. But these guys have got brilliant lists too. So who's going next?
Yes.
Well, I'll go next, shall I?
Yeah, go for it, King.
Right, my game's been a mixed bag, but right, first of all, Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus.
That's a phenomenal game. Phenomenal game.
Ghost Recon, Tom Clancy, Ghost Recon Wildlands. One
of the releases
this year.
Yeah.
One of my favourites. Warhammer Total War 2. It's a big strategy game.
Yeah, we enjoyed our Let's Play that we did of that not too long ago.
A game that's in early, it's a bit of a unique one because it's still in early access technically, but PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And the last one, which has been getting a lot of ground in the RPG games, is Divinity Original Sin 2.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
that's an interesting list. It's very varied as well.
Yeah. So, shall I go saying why I've chosen these?
Yeah, of course, definitely. Especially PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, because that's been getting a lot of attention.
I'll start that one, yeah. I've been playing it recently because I finally picked it up. Basically been badgered by some of my online friends to get it. Mm-hmm. And it's about my love for online gaming.
Okay.
For online shooters, I used to play quite when I was young, but these days I'm a bit older and a bit slower. It's not my bag anymore. But Battlegrounds is also known as PUBG. It's really, really good. Basically, the premise of the game is you start on a plane, you're dropped into an area, you have to scavenge for weapons. You're usually in a team. You can do it individually, but you have to be better in a team. Scavenge weapons, and then as time goes on, the playable area in the game shrinks. So every few minutes, the area shrinks. So basically forces the players together. What I enjoy about it is pretty much the online the online aspect is the growing your buddy. So you're there. It's very quick. It's very lethal as well. If you get spotted and you're going to get shot at, you're going to die pretty quickly. Yeah. So by trying weapons, you're trying to sneak around, or you can go gung ho with weapon vehicles. It's just a damn fun, good game. Very intense.
There's been a lot of traction on that.
Yes, and it's just been released on the consoles now for the players because we're with PC. Yeah. There's still original access. There's still a lot of still a lot of bugs, and it's still laggy in some areas.
PC and Xbox.
Yeah, but it's really, really good game, so I've been enjoying it.
I mean, it's a testament to the character of the game that I don't think ever before have we seen a game that has been in early access. So really, it's not a release that has been getting the attention and the critical acclaim as PUBG's been getting.
And that's why I've leveled it as a game of the year, because it's a damn fun game.
So a lot of people don't agree with you.
Yeah. Next one is I'll start with Ghost Recon Wildlands, because that's a similar thing. Tom Clancy game. Basically, you play as elite special forces going into Cibla's South American country. Again, the reason I chose this game because it looks absolutely gorgeous. The freedom you get to move around is great. And again, it's a game you can play co-op with your mates, and that's why I enjoy about it. I've had some great games with mates online.
DLC as well.
Absolutely laughing our faces off as our plan goes horribly wrong. We got to bits. It's trying to pilot a helicopter and crashing and killing us all. It's again, damn fun game. And it's a co-op game. It's a game where you need people to play it with, and it makes it a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Wolfenstein. I'm a huge fan of the Wolfenstein series. Absolutely.
You got us all into it.
Yeah, we went through. These guys went out and bought it afterwards.
Even on the PC as well.
Yeah. Couldn't believe I was playing.
Another funny video that you need to watch. Us trying to use a mouse and keyboard.
But that's what I enjoy about it. Storyline's epic on it. It looks gorgeous, and it's again a lot of fun. Lots of fun to play. It doesn't get stale. Lots of variations to it, and it's a great continuation of the series. And I hope they do more in the future.
Yeah, and in all honesty, the only reason I didn't put it on my list is I know that you and maybe one other person may have put it on their list, and having it mentioned so many times not only shows how great of a game it is, but also, I mean, we'll discuss it several times over, I think, today.
Next one, Divinity Original Sin 2. This has been a very much critically acclaimed game. I don't know if you're into RPGs, the old Baldur's Gate series, Diablo series. It's basically, it's getting a lot of attention. The first one I never played, but I've heard good things about it. And I played the second one. Again, it's fully co-op, fully multiplayer. You take your team. Combat's turn-based, but the actual exploring is real-time. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It's really good style. The depth of it as well. Makes a great RPG with character customization, what you can do, your skills. It's all fully voice acted as well. All the NPCs have got full voice acting. Storyline's absolutely brilliant.
That's quite impressive for a game that size.
Yeah, it is, and it's been very much under the radar, and it's come out, and people obviously can't get enough of it. It's renowned to be one of the best RPGs out at the moment. So yeah, if you like RPG games, especially in the Diablo sort of top down thing, check it out. It's a hell of a lot of fun. And my last one, Total Warhammer 2, is an RTS strategy game with sort of civilization building elements. Again, it's taken two things I really love: Warhammer fantasy areas and Total War games, and mashed the two. The first Total War game is brilliant, but this one has just taken the first one, amplified it by 10. Got rid of a lot of the niggles that made the first one a little bit hard to play, sort it all out, and it just makes it for a fun, smooth, enjoyable gaming experience.
Yeah, and something again that we did a feature video on as part of our Game of the Year series. So if you're more interested in that game, obviously listen on or go check that out. So yeah, brilliant, King, and thank you very much. And let's go on to Martin. Martin, what's your list? What's your top 5?
So this year has probably been my most adventurous in terms of actually playing games in my adult life.
Played something other than Pokemon and Call of Duty.
Actually play games.
And all of these are featured throughout the year pretty much as well, when we've been doing our videos. So South Park, The Fractured But Whole.
Okay.
I mean, when we were doing the video, even just doing our video, whether or not it was talking about it to you guys or whether it's just myself getting engrossed and forgetting that we're doing a video. It was such good fun. The Eternal FIFA.
FIFA 18.
I can't not include FIFA in any top 5 of any year.
Shock.
Wolfenstein.
Oh, there we go.
Even though it was just a few weeks ago that I first even knew about it. I got really into that real quick. Actually went maybe go out and buy it myself and then get involved. New Formula 1.
Okay, yeah, good pick.
Enjoyed
Good pick.
that. It wasn't really talked about too much after it first came out, but when it did come out, everyone was raving about it, and I really enjoyed our video on it and our playing on it.
Our video that got banned for copyright reasons.
But
it was a very good racing simulation and also fun as well, which is most important.
Yeah, especially when I'm playing games because I got attention span. And then Mario plus Rabbids.
Okay,
as well.
Interesting pick.
That when we were going through that one, the first few minutes I thought, oh, this is just gonna be a bit weird. And as we got into it, I thought it's just quirky. It's not downright. It's interesting. It's quirky. And you could find yourself playing that for a long, long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth the mention because I will happily admit I was massively wrong about that game because I hated the idea of it. It looked too
strategy.
much. It wasn't so much a strategy; it was just the idea of the Rabbids. They're like
a fan of them before.
I wasn't.
Rayman?
Not really.
On the Wii and that.
Rayman, no.
I wasn't a fan of the Rabbids originally, and they're like Ubisoft's Minion characters, and the Minions get on my nose a little bit. Minions on crack, yeah.
I think it actually works having them combined with Mario and those characters.
It's weird how they managed to fit, yeah.
Rabbids on their own, can get a little bit annoying, I feel. But when they're combined and they're almost like a side character, in it makes it more enjoyable for them to be in it because, again, like I said, it's quirky. There's some funny parts in it. They make Mario a bit more funny.
Yeah.
And
it has, credit where credit's due, it has a very sophisticated and rich strategy system in it. It's not as simple as pressing buttons and jumping on things. Yes, it is very engaging. Cool, that's a brilliant list, Martin. Unsurprising to see FIFA on there again.
Every year.
I wonder what you're going to put next year on your list. I bet I could guess one of the five.
Next year,
Formula 1 2018, FIFA 2019. Cool. Phil, last but not least.
So
go on, impress us.
I did Horizon. Obviously, we did a video on that like a week ago, I think it was.
Feels such a long time ago.
Yeah, it was such a long time ago. I've also got Injustice, the fighting game.
Injustice 2, that was a good game.
Oh yeah, number 2, of course. I've also got Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Okay, I keep forgetting that was like this year.
Such a great game.
Yeah,
a lot of people missed out on it, which is really sad. Call of Duty World War 2. Thought they brought it back.
Oh my god!
I haven't played a Call of Duty for a long time, and I thought they really mastered this one.
Can I just redo my top?
Yeah, I was not I missed that. It's a very important game.
Also got For Honor, which was a under the radar game as well.
That was beginning of the year as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought that was a really good game, and the fighting elements to it, storytelling.
That one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was completely different. A lot of people missed out on it. Really sad, but those are my picks. I would say Horizon you already know about if you've watched our video. Great storytelling, graphically amazing, and how they do the RPGs and all the fighting mechanics. I thought it was awesome.
Especially on PS4 Pro and 4K.
Oh yeah, gorgeous. Beautiful game if you have a 4K telly. I had to get that in there, sorry.
That's 4K
though.
Injustice 2, it's just, I'm a competitive person, so with fighting games, I like to put out the big combos and show people up. Sometimes it happens to me, so it's not fun for me, but it's nice to go online and it works, and then you could just go against each other and try and get on that scoreboard.
King is the one that always beats you on Injustice, isn't he?
Nah, I would have gone with
King
Tekken. not Injustice.
Anything with fighting.
No one beats me on that out of you lot. I'm sorry. Not out of you lot.
I remember a time.
Game of Showdown next year, is it?
Yeah, mate, tournament. It's coming. You make some money off it. And just Uncharted, sorry. Everybody knows what Uncharted is. It didn't have Nathan Drake in it, which is sad to see him go off into his married life. It happens. Everyone moves on, grows up. We're not growing up, apparently. But it's a new character. She was in number 2, but she's got her own little story herself, and she picked up another character from number 4, which is good to see those two bounce off each other. It's still climb the mountains and stuff like that and go on an adventure. I thought it was pretty cool. COD, everybody knows about COD, Call of Duty. What they did with this one though, they changed up the loot box scheme, which is really good. They give out free stuff, which they have been throughout this December. I've really enjoyed that, and jumping on with your friends and finding new matches is really good. It works very well. It did have problems at the start. Everybody knows it really was buggy and stuff like that, but they've really fixed it up. It's really good. And the last one, For Honored, also good storytelling. The combat in it was really different. It had like a strategy feel to it, and it was mixed in with Dynasty Warriors, which was also a good game, but it just, how they matched them together, it was really good. And that's one of my picks anyway. Those are my picks.
That's interesting. What I want to know though, because I haven't played the new Call of Duty, is it as good as Battlefield 1?
Oh, it's tricky because Battlefield 1 is also a good game.
Yeah.
With Battlefield, it's bigger, isn't it? And you can blow up everything.
Yeah,
Call of Duty is still the same in a box, and you run around and you get kill streaks.
It's good to go back to World War II, back to the roots.
Yeah, you get the original old school weapons from the World War series.
No more like double jumps, jetpacks.
Oh no, none of that. It's literally boots to ground.
The way Martin liked it.
I can't stand it. Horrible.
That's why it's not
There's no more like sliding on your knees and double jumping, like you said. Literally, you would do a dive, which was the old school scheme as well, it just works so better than jumping. I'm going to do a spin and jump.
360 no scope.
Oh, horrible. 360 oh, that's bad though. Watch out for them snipers, I'm telling you.
Everyone runs faster than I thought. Cool, brilliant. Thanks, Phil. So, guys, this is the point where we all fall out. We crash the camera and we end the show. We are going to try and create a list.
Get some water before.
We're going to try and create a list from our own lists and justify why this is the definitive list of 2017 and where we should put them. So I'm looking forward to this because I do love a good discussion and a good debate, especially with guys who love games as much as I do. But at the same time, I know one of us is going to fall out with the other one, and I reckon it's going to be mine.
I'm already falling out with it.
No one told me there's a Call of Duty game this year. So what would do? I tell you what. Let's go the other way this time. Kinger.
Yeah.
What is your game that you're going to nominate for our list, our top 5?
Top 5, all right.
And where are you going to put it?
Okay. Well, the game I'm going to nominate is Total War Warhammer 2.
Okay, yeah.
It's my game.
Strong game. Strong game.
It's because of what it does. It's the Total War series is a brilliant game series. It's been around for years.
Yeah.
And it culminates, to me, it's the best Total War game of all time.
Okay.
It's a very, very polished game in what it does. Each faction feels very different from the others.
Okay.
So you can play, the replayability of it is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a brilliant game. I'm going to say third, number 3 for this.
Very modest.
Yes. I think even though it's my game of the year, it's a PC only game, so that excludes a lot of people who can play it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's not for everyone who don't like arty strategy games.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's me, the reason is because it's a combination of the perfect game for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say third, just purely because it's not for everyone and a lot of people can't access it because a lot of people are console gamers. Like you 3 here, so you personally can't play it.
Us 3,
yeah,
us 3, yeah.
You 3,
PC Master Race again.
The console peasants in the room.
Who you call it a peasant? Okay, cool, brilliant. Right, well, let's not debate that for the moment because it's been, to be fair, King has put it in a nice little. It's got middle of the ground, inoffensive, and also.
Kinger.
It could get demoted by one of us 3. So at the moment, fixed to number 3. It's Total Warhammer 2. Martin, stir the pot.
So blatantly, mine's going to be number 1.
Oh dear.
No, I'm going to pick South Park.
Okay.
Fractured but whole.
Okay.
Strong game. Very good game.
I felt like it improved quite a lot on the Stick of Truth.
Okay.
In what offered the options that were in-game, different types of things you can do. The fact that you feel like you're immersed in a 2-day-long episode, effectively, but you're involved in it. You are deeply involved in it. And it's as funny as ever. It doesn't seem to matter how long South Park's been around.
Yeah.
It's still just as funny.
I agree and disagree there, because I agree because
here we start.
Here we go.
Martin, only Martin can stir pots.
Well done, Martin.
At first, where are you going to put it?
Drum roll, please.
I mean, it's hard work not knowing what the others are going to be.
Yeah.
I think I would actually genuinely probably put this out of R4 at 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's mainly because I think about how much it's based about my sole interest in it, not thinking. I haven't really thought so much about what others have thought about it. I've just really enjoyed it personally so much myself.
Can I just say, before you carry on, you two have made this the most like, it's like, oh, let's just all be friends. Let's just all get along.
Well, back to my point I was going to say.
I can't believe you've done this.
Is actually, I agree with Fourth, because even though gameplay wise, I think it's better than Stick of Truth. I think Stick of Truth is a better game.
It's more soul in it, isn't it?
It was really fun at the time. It's very glass. It's very expensive, but I felt with Fractured But Whole, it was I wouldn't say recycled, but it felt like I've been here, done this sort of thing. Even though the combat system is a lot better in the Fractured But Whole, and the general gameplay of it is better. I thought Stick of Truth was more fun game to play.
I agree with your criticism, and I don't necessarily disagree with it going in 4. I would probably put it higher than Total Warhammer, but I'm quite happy with those two.
I mean, I put it as 4, hoping you guys go, no, it's number 1, it's number 1. But no,
going back to Kinger's point, also playing devil's advocate a little bit, is that Matt Stone and Trey Parker have to their episodes of South Park now are very culturally contemporary relevant, aren't they? They're very much doing what is the very political, social topic of the time on episodes.
Yeah.
When you're building a game, it's got to have more lasting appeal and less punch. So they have done both a very good job in Stick of Truth and Fractured But Whole of creating these 12, like Martin said, these 12 to 15 hour episodes of South Park that you can still play Stick of Truth now, get the relevance of the jokes made in that game and feel, okay, it's not dated.
Yeah.
And I think they've done the same with Fractured But Whole. It makes it a little bit safer in South Park terms, as in it's not necessarily going out there and tackling the issues of the day, but at the same time it makes it more lasting in its appeal, because a lot of these games are picked up and played several years after they originally released, unlike certain episodes of big TV series are. And so I do agree with what you're saying, but I can also see why they've done it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can see. I go back and play Stick of Truth quite regularly. As it's a good.
Definitely.
But I can't see myself playing Fractured But Whole again.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. But I think that's because of the accessibility of South Park, Stick of Truth compared to Fractured But Whole.
Yeah.
The Fractured But Whole is a better game, but Stick of Truth for some reason has a more memorable, lasting appeal. Because of its ease of access, and like you said, the storyline at the time was more memorable. But I definitely agree with that. But yeah, Martin, I mean, if you want to put it at 4, we may keep it at 4. We may move it up. We may move it down. Let's wait a bit. Let's see what Phil has to say.
I'm stirring the pot, mate.
Go on, Phil. Stir it.
So Horizon, I still think I'm going to put it first.
Do you know what? I think that's less controversial than you put it 3rd or 4th. If you put it 3rd, that's not a problem.
Just because it was a new game coming out of like all these games that have got names for themselves already.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a
new IP.
Yeah.
No one had ever heard of it. It was made by someone who made shooters. So everyone's like, oh, what's this game going to be like? They're showing tech demos and everything, and they're still not sure about it. It comes out on February, and then people buy into it, and then they're enjoying it, good critics and everything. So I'm just keeping it at level 1. I don't know what you guys want to say.
Yeah, I mean,
Number 4.
It reviewed really well, didn't it, Horizon?
Yeah.
And
especially being close to Zelda as well.
that's the problem with the game, wasn't it? It was
just
like
how do you stack up to something that has a big name, and people are just like, oh, we're going to get a Nintendo Switch and Zelda.
I can't agree with you that number 1 actually because it's a new IP, and I think I think because I mean, like Hollywood recently and gaming, like a lot of developers play it safe.
Yeah,
they churn out the same thing over and over.
Yeah, they don't sound like Call of Duty every year, stuff like that.
Shh, Martin's sat right next to you.
I mean,
the game ready's gone.
Can we swap seats?
But it's nice to see something different come into it. Something new, completely new. I played that EGX last year. I haven't actually played the full game yet, but it's on my to-do list, buy list. I very enjoyed the style of it. I loved the mix of technology and the old sort of hunting aspect of it. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. And again, new IP, which is stunning. I really like the storyline and the idea behind it. I enjoy seeing new IPs come into
this is the thing.
Yeah. Hang on a minute, put on silent.
It's on silent.
But yeah, that's what I like to see new IPs coming in when it's quite hard for publishers to get something in where it's in a very well established universe where people tend to buy the same things and they put out the same things.
Like Alex said, playing it safe.
Yeah.
Oh, let's bring out this game because people will buy it. We need money.
Yeah. But it's good to see them take some different, and it's paid off. It's stunning. It plays quite well, and I'm guessing it's gonna be probably a well established PlayStation Sony exclusive in the future. I think.
Franchise definitely. And Frozen Wilds has proven popular as well.
Yeah.
Right, let me be controversial again, but the controversy will lead to a positive for the game. So yes, you're saying it's original, and I agree, but it does recycle some of the old open world tropes, very big dystopian open world setting, which has been done in many games. What does separate it from those other games, though, is the setting they have chosen and the enemy that they have chosen and the way they tell the story.
Yeah.
So where in your open world dystopian games you may have, say, your zombies or
destruction,
you
effectively.
Exactly, your end of the world setting, which we've all seen before a million times.
Yeah, of course.
They've taken like a past, so they've made the game feel like it could be set thousands of years ago. Millions, sorry, even like a Stone Age game.
Stone Age,
but they've actually set it like thousands of years in the future.
Yeah,
because they've created these like animatronic. That's not even a word. Animatronic beings that are based on creatures of today and yesteryear, and put it in a modern setting where the world has ended. And that, with that combination of taking things that were already done before but doing it in a new way, is kind of the strength of the game. Yeah. The story has a real...
Of course they're going to use those type of elements, otherwise, because they don't want to be too far-fetched.
No, I mean, I agree. But what my point is that though they've taken those things, they've still made them new, and they've also used them in a very, very good way. They've not wasted their resources in this game. It is a beautiful game. The combat in it is quite sophisticated, even though the combat
is quite similar. It takes a while to get used to as well, of like being able to switch on the go and then when you're in a battle, just being able to dodge and.
But do you not find that with a lot of shooting games, for example?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You have to get used to that. Yeah, otherwise you're just going to get blown away by any online competition.
But that's never a good thing. It's always good to have like that learning curve. Like you don't have to just pick up and play. Most people, they would throw that at like pick up and play. It's just easy. Let's move on to the next game.
No, definitely, and there is a skill level to this game which you showed in that's what you showed.
There is a skill level.
There is some sort, and I was like medium.
Like you haven't played the game, even though you put 78 hours into the game. You hadn't played it in a couple of months, and you came back to it, and you struggled on something that was properly considered quite basic. In the side quest you did, but that was part of that showed in essence what we're trying to explain is though the game is simple to pick up, to master it takes a long time, and that's what good games should do, especially with RPG or action adventure game combat systems. They should be accessible, but to separate you from say what you are at your 70 hours of the game to the 5th hour of the game, there should be some progression.
It rewards you.
Exactly. Exactly. So, not just in equipment, but in move, skill set, and what you can do. No, I agree. I'd actually say, if it wasn't for my game that I'm going to suggest, it would be number one.
Number one with a star.
If Phil's having one, I'm having 1 star. So, trying to bump down Phil's game from 1 to 2, and we will debate this further going after, I am going to put Super Mario Odyssey there. For the simplest and easiest justifiable reason that I can give, which is what I gave earlier, is Super Mario 64 2, and Super Mario 64 is considered one of the greatest games of all time. And to take that formula, make it remembering your roots but doing enough to make it original and new and fresh is what Nintendo did perfectly in this game. And not only that, there's very few games I play, and this isn't a criticism, but when you play games like Horizon or when you play games like Total Warhammer, there's tense, you're tense, they're pressured, there's it's all about snap decisions that could basically end or give you success. In Mario and in South Park actually as well, and I'll give South Park massive credit for this, there's very few games like those two that you play with a massive smile on your face. Like South Park is riotous, it makes you laugh from start to finish. Mario, there's very few games I've ever played where I've been it's made me feel like a 6-year-old again. It's made me go to a simpler time. I'm picking up and playing Odyssey and seeing those, not only the tropes that I remember from the older Mario games, but the new stuff they do. It was like shock and awe, but in a happy way. Like you've just felt some warm, fuzzy feeling inside. And it's as simple as moving Mario about in his sandbox. I get that every time I'm with you, Phil. Just moving Mario around in those sandboxes again, those small sandboxes again, in those worlds with the amount that there is to do. It's a phenomenal experience, and it took me by surprise actually, because this is another game I was quite critical of when I first saw it. But then when I went to EGX, like Kinga, I actually took his tickets this year and I played it. I queued up for an hour and a half to play that game, and it's the best hour and a half I've wasted in my life to play something for 15 minutes, because it justified that little 15 minutes I got with the game, because I understood it. And after that, it was I couldn't wait for the release date, and it was so bad I was actually out the country when it got released, October 27th. I was in Abu Dhabi. I cancelled my pre-order just so I could buy the download version and download it in Abu Dhabi. And I downloaded it. I set the download for when it was released on midnight, went back to bed, and then in the morning it was fully downloaded on my Switch, and I spent the day by the pool just playing Super Mario Odyssey.
Holiday well spent.
That is a good thing for Nintendo Switch. Like being out of the country or whatever, and you could just be able just to play on your portable device, and then when you get home, it's still there.
Yeah,
you just put it on your TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Just chill out, and I think I do like that idea of being able to download it wherever you are, or whatever.
Do you think that if that was on another console like PlayStation, Xbox, that you'd enjoy the game as much? Do you think that the console itself helps make it a little bit of a better game?
Good question.
That's a really good question. I wasn't prepared for that. You know, when like politicians and stuff get stuck in interviews, and like, I just need to consult my peer for a moment. Can we just stop this?
Brexit.
Yeah. What? Yes, because though Mario's set up of the game, the way Nintendo's been clever with the way they've made Mario can be played in 5-minute chunks. But it's just as enjoyable if you you're sat with it for a couple of hours. Because the collection of the moons that you collect, there's 880 of them. So you can go in the game, do one task and get one of the moons, and you're just as satisfied as you would if you went and got 10 or 15 moons at the same time. And the tasks vary greatly between each moon that you get. So the game benefits from being on a portable, but then it's not any less or more of a game because it's also available portably. So I do think I'd enjoy it just as much if it was on Xbox or PlayStation, The only thing I'd lose out on is I wouldn't be able to play it portably. But that wouldn't make it less of a game.
Yeah.
Just means the console doesn't have the same flexibility as the Switch does. But there's things the Switch doesn't do that those other consoles do. So there's swings and roundabouts. But that's I get what you're saying, definitely.
Okay.
But yeah, Super Mario Odyssey is phenomenal, and that's why I think it should go at number 1. I'm afraid, Phil. What do you guys think?
It's a hard one.
It is a hard one.
Let's finally start arguing.
It is a hard one because it is such a great game. Mario is a good game, and like I said before, it has that name recognition, and people would jump at joy for their kids or just themselves as well, being a kid and growing up with the 64 version and then realising, yeah, this is still my game. I still love this game. But just with me, because it's... Horizon is just a complete different game. It's new to all. Like, I understand you mentioned they still use the same like elements of how they do the I can't get my words out now. I'm stuck. But the way you said about using the same refreshed items and stuff.
Yeah, the ideas over
ideas.
and over.
Yeah. I'm still going with my choice.
Okay.
It's a tough one, really, because they are both phenomenal games in their own ways.
Yeah.
I mean, Horizon is a brilliant game because it's depends what you want a game for.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if you want a challenge and you want a game,
you say that though. I'll stick up for you. You say challenge, but Mario does give off some challenge.
Yeah.
This is the thing. This is the great thing I will say in Mario's favour against Horizon. Sorry to cut you off, King.
Yeah.
So Horizon is a strictly adult game. You couldn't give that to... You're not supposed to give it to your 8-year-old and say, play on this, because it's got very resounding adult themes. Mario is made for the 6-year-old the same way it's made for the 36-year-old in the challenge and balance. And that's what all Nintendo's always been about.
That's a difficult thing, because they're both brilliant games in their own right.
Definitely.
It's accessibility. If you're a gamer, I suppose, now a gamer, Horizon is going to be such a good game. But again, you'll get a different type of enjoyment out as a Mario Odyssey. But because, trying to be pretty diplomatic, I suppose, I would probably give Mario number 1 slot, just because of the sheer age range and people who can play it. Anyone can play it, from your 80-year-old granny down to the small kid.
It's true. It is true.
So, even though I probably think Horizon probably, in my personal opinion, not a better game, but a game I would prefer playing.
Yeah.
I think Mario is probably the number 1 game, just because, like you said, it's a damn fun game to play, and you can play it for small chunks, and the amount of people who have access to it.
You do say about age range, there is some grannies out there.
Yeah.
Now, even before, who knew about the first couple of Mario games.
Yeah.
That was
because Mario is such an iconic character in the game.
It's Nintendo's Mickey Mouse.
It is.
It's the gaming industry's Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, as I said, it's a hard choice, but I would probably put Mario first.
You turned it.
Much as I'd like to.
I paid him before you did. But you might have Martin to lean on. But what I will say as well is that there's types of player. King has made a very good point about the types of players that play games.
Yeah.
So Horizon is definitely a hardcore player's game, which is a terminology that can be used as a positive and a negative. I'm using it in a very positive sense. I think games made for hardcore gamers are usually not more specialised in a negative way, but in a way that only people who really appreciate games understand. And though Mario caters for them in the sense that you can complete like there's 880 moons. I've got 880 because I'm psycho. But
fanboy.
But you can play Mario and complete the story in it, which believe it or not, for a Mario game which has had the same story ever since he first was released in 1985, is actually more sophisticated this time around. There's more premise to this story, but by the by, you can finish that game by only getting, say, 100 odd moons. You don't need to go the 880. If you just want to play this game for, say, 10 to 15 hours, you can do that, or you can go the extension I've gone. And it's the same with Horizon as well. You could go through the main story and do the side quests.
There's so many things I haven't even done.
Where Horizon and Mario separate is that, like you said, a kid is going to come pick up and who's got the attention span that is really low is not going to plod through Horizon. Well, the game's not made for him, but even if it had the less adult themes, it's not going to plod through Horizon because it requires you to play through quite long periods of time to get the most out of the game. Whereas Mario, for example, the Odyssey doesn't, I think. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a better game, but like King has said, that's why I think it's more preference to me as a Mario fan as well. Yeah. But I don't want to take anything away from Horizon. That's a phenomenal game.
I personally prefer Horizon over Mario. Because it's my sort of dark theme for it's got Rumble Dinosaurs.
Yeah, exactly.
But the reason
what Transformers should have been.
But the reason is because you were saying that age range and
but I'm more of a hardcore gamer. So I think if Mario hasn't been out this year, it would have been Horizon definitely. But the Switch hadn't come out.
2017 has been one of the best years for gaming on record. I cannot remember a year. 2015 was good actually, to be fair, because you had Witcher, Metal Gear Solid, Arkham Knight. You had some really good games that year, but 2017 has been phenomenal. But Martin might add some more controversy anyway and say Horizon over Mario, or might put South Park in number one.
Change your mind. See, to a certain extent, I agree with Kingo in terms of how he split that up into his personal preference and what he thinks other people would like a bit more as such.
King has always been a people's person.
King of present.
King of 2020.
Great film.
No, because as historically, with nearly every time I've been asked to rate a game or give reasons why I like something, it's because I've said it's easy to pick up and play.
It's his choice,
That's and but on the flip side, like I said, this year's probably been my more adventurous year in terms of wanting to game and getting more into different types of gaming instead of just to pick up and play.
You've embraced the gamer box.
Yeah, shall we say?
Yeah.
Opened my eyes a little bit more, and I enjoy the technical aspects a little bit more of games now, and a bit more willing to spend the extra 10 minutes learning something rather than just in a rage throwing a controller and putting FIFA back on.
Rage quit.
And then raging over FIFA and just turning everyone.
Done with this, so go back to Netflix.
Burning your house down.
And so I feel that if you'd asked me this question last year, I would have 100% said Mario without even questioning it. And this time it's so much of a closer decision. I'd actually probably pick Horizon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
2 for 2.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. I know that was going somewhere else.
It's 4. -1 is 3.
No, but I like how much you could delve into Horizon.
You can borrow it if you want.
Do you not want it anymore? Is it not your number one? Do you not want it anymore?
No, it's not my number one.
It's completed. How many other games to play?
No, and I like the twist on the future, like we've said, that it isn't a negative future. It's in a way a positive spin on what could be. Almost recycling resetting Earth and seeing what will happen, and going from there.
I think what I like about Horizon that it's hopefully it'll encourage more new IPs to be developed, and because there's so many amazing stories and
there's so many good companies, and they're still
blame EA.
So I mean, if it encourages more original games to come out, I think it's worth putting it in number one slot just for that. So
he's back on it.
Do we think
It's a shame I have the final decision. Supreme ruler AJ.
No, it's a dictatorship.
So let's hear it then.
So do you know what? I think that's a fair argument, and I'd be a bit of a knob for not accepting it. And I agree. I think Sony, Sony took a relatively big risk in introducing a new IP that could have fell flat, even onto a system that is sold as well as a PlayStation 4. It doesn't guarantee, even though you've got 60, 70 odd million units out there, that you're going to ship a major amount of games.
It's not only that, obviously, they're competing with Xbox. I know Xbox doesn't have their first parties, but say they wanted to do this game for Xbox as well, they wouldn't get the full numbers, but because they did it themselves...
Yeah, I think
went with it.
First party games have an expectation of they have to be good, don't they? Because they're made by the company for their own gaming system.
Yeah.
And I agree. Xbox have got very big first party games. They've obviously got Halo, Gears, Forza.
Forza's their biggest one, I would say.
Forza's been phenomenal last couple of years.
Halo, they've really pushed past, I would say so.
But I would agree with you. I think Sony definitely has the stronger first party lineup. Taking Nintendo to the side, because Nintendo's another different level, because they've been established for years with their first party lineup. Yeah, I'd agree. Sony has the stronger first party lineup, and it's further extended by games like Horizon. And
there is more coming for next year, apparently.
I hope so, because there's what is it?
Sucker Punch. Is it Sucker Punch? No,
that's the developer, isn't it?
I'm sure it's anyway.
Yeah. And then obviously you got God of War on Sony. And
hopefully this will encourage more newer risks that people take.
No, I agree.
New original IPs and stuff.
So let's see your final verdict.
So I like I said, I'll give it you. So let's go Horizon, Horizon, Mario, Warhammer, Total War Warhammer, and South Park Fractured Butthole. Do you know what really upsets me? But it upsets me, but it also makes me feel happy with this year, is that we haven't included Resident Evil 7 on that list. We haven't included Assassin's Creed Origins. Criminally, we haven't included Wolfenstein 2, which I think should be on there. Well, but that just shows how good this year's been for games.
There's been some absolutely brilliant games.
I'd like to hear in the comments what your favourite game would be.
Yeah, but obviously if we've missed something that you think would go on that list.
I mean, there's so many of these Game of the Year awards. All the major gaming review companies do a Game of the Year. So there's lots of different opinions on it. And
this is another thing.
A lot of our choices are being on our personal feelings towards games.
Of course.
As well, so
that's the same with any critical response, though, isn't it?
We'll get that. So, but so there's been so many great games this year. It's been very hard. I mean, choose my five. Even I'm a massive PC gamer. Was trying to narrow it down. It was hard to choose 5 out of 4 that I enjoyed personally, but I thought I had to bring stuff to the table. It was very good.
Yeah, I struggled, in all honesty. My list changed considerably because I kept track over the year, because we do this every year. Well, we've done it the last couple of years since we've been running. So I made a conscious effort this year to keep updating my list, and it's amazing how many changes were on that list. Because every single month there's a new game you're playing. I'm like, Christ! Like Mario and Rabbids was on my list for a very long time. Assassin's Creed came out before she got bumped off. ARMS was on my list, and I never thought in a million years I'd put ARMS on a Game of the Year list.
It's like player in the background of why you start playing that the last couple of weeks, because. Even though it's an early access game, which is probably a controversial choice, because obviously the early access still have a certain stigma towards them. It came. I've been playing it and I updated my list straight away because I thought it's just as fun one game and it's so enjoyable and fun to play. It's quick, it's fast, it's tense. I mean, there's some great tense moments, memories you remember, or there's some silly moments where we were my mate were running away from people in a sidecar motorbike. We hit a hill, flipped, and killed ourselves. So
go out doing what you love, mate.
Yeah, exactly. And we laughed so hard. It was a stupid situation. It was last year. It was so bad. I come out. I fall out and get smashed by the car, and then the car, and he goes and blows up. So it's just.
Let's be honest, though. Nintendo's back, by the way.
Oh, Nintendo is definitely back. Yeah.
They're putting numbers.
You're just like soothing his ego again.
Oh, sorry.
Well, no, to be honest,
like stroking it.
All that matters to me is I get to play quality games, and yes, I've grown up playing Nintendo games.
Just waiting for Smash.
That would be my number one.
Straight away.
Whatever year, Martin's top 5 is going to be top 3 is guaranteed to be FIFA, Call of Duty that year, and then Smash number 1.
Super Smash. That's all I want, mate.
But those who've been paying the most attention will notice we said top 5. There's 4 of us here. We had a list of 5, and we have only mentioned 4. Now, what could that mean? What does it mean?
Well, it means the number 1 we've already pre-chosen.
It means that this year, as Phil has said, has been dominated by Nintendo and the success of the Switch. And though it has been a great game for video games overall, we'd be amiss to mention how successful Nintendo's hybrid console is. And with that in mind, our number 1 spot, as many others and in agreement with many other companies and video game critics, is in conjunction with what they've chosen. And yes, it is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which we are not going to discuss in too much detail here, simply because we were going to bring you a Let's Play video as a bonus video for our Game of the Year series, because it's something we didn't stream earlier on this year. But as Phil, even Martin's briefly played and Kinga grew up playing, The Legend of Zelda is something that's stuck with us ever since we played video games. My first experience of Zelda was the Ocarina of Time on Nintendo 64, and I think it was the same for you two as well. And growing up with that series, going back to playing previous entries and also playing the latest entry with the DLC, not only is The Legend of Zelda the best game of 2017, it is quite possibly the greatest game ever made. And I think we're all in agreement with that sentiment.
Well, I think Zelda, the title of the game is just almost as famous, or as well known as things like Mario, isn't it?
It's up there with Mario.
Yeah, part of Nintendo.
Yeah,
Nintendo staple, like I said. Nintendo are the Disney of the video games industry. You think of all the Disney characters. It's the same with Nintendo. You've got Link, Mario, Samus.
The weirdest thing is they've started off as a toy company. Look at the brand now, and obviously they're getting more toys out of it, like Zelda models and stuff like that, and all their characters. It's like a Spidey universe or something.
But yeah,
Go back to Marvel.
Sorry, couldn't say.
Always with them all.
it's such a well-known series, and I don't think there's ever been a bad Zelda game.
Well, the ones that were on the CDI, we will not mention those, like Wonder Gamelon and stuff, but they were horrendous.
Great games.
Yeah.
Great games. Game of the Years, those years, whatever year they were released. But taking the points that we made briefly about Mario being a nostalgia trip, and though it was a a evolution rather than a revolution of that franchise, Nintendo very much respects its roots, but also completely flips the box and lid and creates what Nintendo described as an open air game. And when you play that game and you realise that not just that you could travel this sprawling land of Hyrule across vast plains horizontally in a normal way from point A to point B, it's the verticality of that game that truly makes it and stands it out from anything that's come before and will revolutionise the gaming industry. Games that have come before and will go after will take that mould and adopt it into theirs. And I mean, not to plug my own stuff, but I recently wrote an article at Two Guys Playing Zelda, and I debated the merits of both Super Mario Odyssey and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which are many gaming critics' number 1 and 2 of this year. And it's worth checking that out, because I don't want to go into too much detail here, because like I said, we're going to do a video for you guys shortly. But in regards to our list, just to give you a reminder, we've got unanimously number 1 Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. We've then gone for Phil's Horizon Zero Dawn. We've then gone for my Super Mario Odyssey. We've then gone for Kinga's Total War Warhammer 2, and then we've gone for Martin's South Park Fractured Butthole. So all in all, it's actually a very good list for 2017, and it's very representative of the gaming industry as a whole and the various tastes and demographics that we cover. And so well done, Phil, for kind of winning the Game of the Year chat. I think that's a good thing to lean on. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be our penultimate Gamerbox video of the year. Remember to catch us in 2018. As long as there's games, there's going to be a Gamerbox. Remember to follow us on Twitter and Instagram as a group. It is at GamerBox Podcast, Twitter and Instagram. That's all one word. And if you want to follow us individually, Kinger is on Twitter at
Kinger1988.
We remembered. Martin is on Twitter and Instagram at
Mar2DH.
Phil is on Twitter and Instagram at
Toxic Smoky.
And I'm on Twitter and Instagram as at AJNation71. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great year for video games. We thank you for joining us. We hope you have a brilliant festive period. Merry Christmas. Take care and play lots of games over the Christmas holiday.
Merry Christmas all.
Take care.